Well guys, looks like myself and both of my boys have all had our chance to crash this thing. So my oldest son, he just had his turn about an hour ago. So yeah, he tried to crank it real hard out on the field and the soil was pretty tacky. And it hooked the tires and flipped the machine and broke the tire out. I already have it fixed here. This time the damage wasn't as bad, so it was a pretty simple fix. But so here's the crash site. You can see the two tire tracks. He comes nailing around the corner there, driving kind of like what Dad would do, you know. And I told him, like, take it easy, you know, don't go jumping and stuff. And so I just sent him out for a few minutes. I figured, well, what could there possibly be to videotape? So anyway, so he comes nailing around the corner here, and he hooks the machine on this tacky soil. You can see this is where the cage dug in right here, and one of the rims dug in real good here. And we tipped the machine back on its wheels, and then it was over here when it was all said and done. But so yeah, he hurt his arm a little bit, but he'll be all right. So yeah, that's what happens at the Grotto One Ranch. Got some paint coming off right here. See the shock mounts here, so it puts a lot of stress on here. I'm not sure, the paint is starting to flake right here. That tells me the tubing is getting stressed. I'll have to keep an eye on that. So yeah, I got this fender is almost broken here, so pretty soon it'll be a match for this side. And this leg restraint was put to good use. So his legs weren't injured, but his arm came out of the machine. He hurt his arm, so those wrist restraints are going to be put into place yet. See all the mud on the cage? Yeah, I just flipped it right over. You can see some of the dirt there piled into the rim. This fan here, this electric fan, I would actually like to mount it over top of the radiator yet. That's kind of on the list of things to do. However, the radiator is so twisted up from crashing that it's kind of hard to make a nice job of it. So in this coil I want to relocate that yet, because that thing's going to eventually get broke right off of there. Hey, so fast forward about 24 hours. I worked on the machine a little bit last night, and I got this radiator kind of back into shape. You can see it looks kind of square now. I was able to pry on this corner over top of the edge of the roll bar, and I just tweaked it up till it looked kind of square again. So it doesn't look too bad now. And even this area here, it was pushed in like that before, just a little bit. And I put a piece of tubing right along this edge here. See, there's a kind of a heavier rail along this edge, so I just kind of put it up against there, and then I hammered on it, you know, from over here, and then so yeah, it's looking pretty square. Okay, so fast forward a little bit more. That's the radiator right there. I'm making some new brackets for it, and so now I'm going to drop that radiator down into the frame a bit more. I'll show you what I'm doing. So this radiator, it used to kind of sit up high like this, you remember? So what I'm doing now is I've taken all the brackets off, and I'm making up new ones, and I'm going to tilt that radiator down away from the you know, where it typically gets damaged, so kind of tuck it in underneath that roll bar a little better, and that's going to give me a little more room for a fan also. So I think that's going to be a lot better.
And you know what else? Farming is back.